Welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am Professor Rani Sadashivamurthy from Rashtriya Sanskrit Vidyapitha, Tirupati. Now we are going to learn under the subject of Indian culture in the paper on Vedic, Epic and Puranic culture of India. The present module deals with origin, development and general survey of Puranas. Here in this module we will be introduced to the term Purana, origin of Puranic literature, characteristics and contents of Puranas. Particularly to say about our India, India is a land of knowledge. It being a land of knowledge, even before the earliest efforts in the other countries to find out or to create or to produce some literature, our country produced a great treasure of knowledge in the name of Vedas. As far as the introduction is concerned, the intellectual heritage of India ever since the dawn of human civilization has been maintaining its uniqueness and extraordinary richness. And here, the first flower of human wisdom, the Veda, blossomed in the soil only and emitted its fragrance all over the world. And here, the earliest wish for the global fraternity was seen in the vast Vedic literature. And following the Vedic tradition in the Indian peninsula, many large texts in the name of Puranas, Itihasas, Kavyas, Shastras were offered to the mankind. And among all these volumes of texts, Puranas play a very major role. And before going into the contents of Puranas, let us have a peep into various sections of our ancient Sanskrit literature. Among all the texts of Sanskrit literature, Vedas have a very prominent place, and the Vedic texts have further divisions such as Veda Samhitas, Brahmanas, Aranyakas, Upanishads, Sutra works, Vedangas, which are 6 in number. They are Siksha, Vyakaranam, Niruktam, Chandas, Jyotisham and Kalpa. And after them, Anukramanika literature also is there to count the number of syllables, the number of words, the number of mantras in each of all the texts. And after that, we have Pratishakhya literature, which deals with the meters, the grammar and also the phonetics of Vedic texts. And after Pratishakyas, we have Itihasas, Ramayana and the Mahabharata. And after Itihasas, the place is occupied by Puranas, Upapuranas and Aupapuranas. And after this Puranic literature, we have Tantras. And then we have prose romances, which are otherwise called as Gadya Kavyas. And after Gadya Kavyas, we have in the poetic form, that is in metrical form, Mahakavyas, Khanda Kavyas, Champu Kavyas, etc. And then the philosophical literature is dealt with in 2 sections. One is 6 Astika Darshanas and the other one is 3 Nastika Darshanas. And after that we have Shataka Sahitya. Shataka Sahitya is a kind of Sahitya where we have texts consisting of 100 shlokas in each text, dealing with some moral messages to the mankind regarding their behavior, regarding their living style and regarding their ideals in life. And after that, we have 21 types of minor types of drama and then 300 disciplines for common man's comfortable living in the name of some Shastras. And after that, 64 fine arts are there, and similarly there are 700 Panchali Kalas which are known as living arts, and texts on medicine, war strategies and dance and music, all these are the big volumes of text which we have in Sanskrit language. And among all these, the status of Puranas is very unique and it is much valued throughout our Indian tradition. The Puranas occupy a prominent place after Itihasas in the grand tradition of Sanskrit literature, beginning with the Vedas. And the place of Puranas in the Indian tradition is unique with a standard of sacred and secular nature. And people of Indian tradition pay high respect to the Puranas on par with the Vedas. The respectful status of Puranas is as much as that of the two Itihasas, Ramayana and the Mahabharata. Puranas carry a high value and authenticity as far as the historicity, religious matters, philosophic teachings, human values, standards of social living, arts and sciences of human livelihood, and even ancient Indian and world geography are concerned. Now we will be introduced to the etymological note on the term Puranas. Yasmat purah yanatidam Puranam tena hismritam niruktamasya yo veda sarva papai pramuchyate. Purana is that which has been surviving through ancient times. That means sometime in ancient India it was evolved or it was emerged, and ever since it has been highly respectfully is being dealt with by the people throughout the generations. Such text is known as Puranam. One who knows this definition is assured to have been relieved from all sinful effects of the past deeds. So, this is a benefit stressed upon by our ancient seers by learning Puranas. And this definition is taken from Vayu Purana. Similarly, there is another definition in the Matsya Purana, according to which Puratanasya Kalpasya Puranani Vidurbudhu. Kalpa is a day of Brahma's life. So, what all happens in a day of Brahma's life, that is recorded in the form of a Purana. According to this one, in the opinion of scholars, Purana is the chronicle of the events of past Kalpa. So, the longest time span is called a Kalpa. So, beginning with Kshanam and then Truti, Lava, Nimesha, Dinam and Saptaha, Masa, Ayanam, Varsham, Yugaha, Mahayuga and Kalpa. Like this, 1000 Mahayugas is equal to 1 Kalpa. That 1 Kalpa is equal to a day of Brahma. So, in this manner, this is a record of 1 day of Brahma, the past record of past Kalpas. In this manner, Puranas are understood by our ancient people, and we go to the next definition now. Richas Samani Chandamsi Puranam Yajushasaha Vuchishta Jijnire Sarve Divideva Divishritaha. This is a mantra from Atharva Veda which enlists Puranas also on par with the status of the Vedas and Chandas meters and also other kinds of Vedic texts. Holy status was given to Puranas in our ancient system, and also it is considered as a source of great knowledge. In the Brihadaranyaka, they say that Itihasa Puranam Vidya Upanishadaha. It is another sentence from Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, according to which Itihasas and Puranas also are equally respected along with the Upanishads. So then Puranavam Puranam ita Niruktam. In the text of Nirukta, they defined it as Puranavam. That means, though it was ancient, it was ever new in ancient times. Whichever knowledge stream is considered as ever new in the ancient times, that was known as Puranams, according to the definition found in the Nirukta of Yaskacharya. And after that, Purapi Navam iti Puranam iti Daivata Brahmanam. Among the Vedic texts of Brahmanams, we have one text named Daivata Brahmana, and in the Daivata Brahmana, it is defined like this. Though it was ancient, it is ever new, not only in the ancient times, even in the modern times, it is ever new. Such text is known as Puranam according to Daivata Brahmanam. These are the few definitions we have in the ancient times and ancient texts on Puranas. Now we are going to deal with the origin of Puranas. According to Vayu Purana, all the Puranas were recollected by Brahma from his past realms of reminiscences in the beginning of creation, even before the Vedas came out from his four faces. Puranam Sarvashastranam Pradhamam Brahmana Smritam. So, even before the emergence of the Vedas and all other Shastras, Brahma, in the beginning of the creation, he recollected the texts of Puranas just to find out a way to create the new world. According to Vishnu Purana and Charana Vyuha, sage Vedavyasa was the compiler of Purana Samhita. Purana was in a single text form when it was compiled by Vedavyasa, and then it has 18 divisions into Mahapuranas when Vyasa handed over the text to his disciple Suta. When he divided the Veda into four as Rig Veda, Samaveda, Yajurveda and Atharvaveda, he has invited his disciples Vaishampayana and others, and he handed over those texts to them. And the fifth one, Purana Samhita, which was compiled by Vedavyasa, was handed over to his another Sishya known as Suta, who was the son of the sage Romaharshana. Suta, who received this Purana Samhita from the sage Vedavyasa, has handed over this Samhita in 6 parts to his groups of disciples known as Kashyapikas, Savaranikas and Samsapayanikas. And he taught a section of Puranas to his own son Ugrashravas also. Now we will deal with the lists of Puranas. According to the texts Vishnu Purana and Markandeya Purana, we have the 18 Puranas in the following manner: Brahma Purana, Shiva Purana, Markandeya Purana, Brahmavayavarta Purana, Skanda Purana, Matsya Purana, Padma Purana, Bhagavata Purana, Agni Purana, Linga Purana, Vamana Purana, Brahmanda Purana, Vishnu Purana, Narada Purana, Bhavishya Purana, Varaha Purana, Kurma Purana and Vayu Purana. And this Markandeya Purana and Vishnu Purana didn't include Garuda Purana in the list of 18 Puranas. While the earlier list is named as Mahapuranas, there are further divisions in the Puranas also, which are known as Upapuranas, 18 in number, Aupapuranas, 18 in number, Upapuranas, 18 in number. And now we deal with the names of Upapuranas which are mentioned in the Devi Bhagavata. According to Devi Bhagavata, the 18 Upapuranas are Sanat Kumara Purana, Shiva Samhita or Shiva Purana, Manava Purana, Kalika Purana, Saura Purana, Maheshwara Purana and Narasimha Purana, Durvasa Purana, Aushanasa Purana, Samba Purana, Bhagavata Purana, Parashara Purana, Naradaya Purana, Kapila Purana, Varuna Purana, Nandi Purana, Aditya Purana and Vasishtha Purana. These are the 18 Upapuranas. Now we deal with the 18 Upapuranas which are available in the Purana Digdarshini and Brihad Viveka. These are the two texts deal with the list of the Upapuranas. The 18 Upapuranas are like this: Sanat Kumara Purana, Manav Purana, Bhagavata Purana, Mudgala Purana, Mahabhagavata Purana, Vanhi Purana, Brihannaradaya Purana, Nandikeshwara Purana, Vasishtha Purana, Kalki Purana, Brihadharma Purana, Pashupati Purana, Aditya Purana, Kurma Purana, Bhargav Purana, Devi Purana, Parananda Purana and Harivamsha. These are the 18 Aupa Puranas. So again there is another classification of all the 18 Mahapuranas into 3 types as Sattvika Puranas, Rajasika Puranas and Tamasika Puranas. The 6 Sattvika Puranas are Vishnu Purana, Garuda Purana, Narada Purana, Padma Purana, Bhagavata and Varaha Purana. And among the 6 Rajasa Puranas we have Brahmanda Purana, Bhavishya Purana, Brahmavaivarta Purana, Vamana Purana, Markandeya Purana, Brahma Purana. And in the Tamasa Puranas section we have Matsya Purana, Shiva Purana, Kurma Purana, Skanda Purana, Linga Purana and Agni Purana. These are the 18 Puranas classified into 3 sections of Sattvika, Rajasika and Tamasika types. Now we will be dealing with the general characteristics of the Puranas. According to our ancient system, every text has particular style and it has certain contents to be dealt with. Here in all the 18 Mahapuranas, usually we have the following characteristics which strikingly can be seen, and these characteristics are Sargascha Pratisargascha Vamsho Manvantarani cha Vamshanucharitam cheti Puranam Panchalakshanam. This shloka, which explains us the 5 characteristics of the Puranas, is found in the Amarakosha, Prathama Kanda, Shabdadivarga. This is the 5th shloka of Amarakosha's particular Kanda. And here, Sarga, this is the first characteristic, according to which wonderful information about the process of creation in our ancient Indian literature is found in the Puranas. And then Pratisarga is dissolution and recreation. According to our Puranic concepts, the universe is created and at one point it will be dissolved into its cause and again recreated after the next kalpa. That's why it is known as Pratisarga. And after that Vamsha, that is divine genealogy. The human beings and others, how they came into existence through the divine cause. It is explained in the Vamsha. And after Vamsha we have Manvantaras, the epochs of Manus. Manu is the first human being in the world who led the universe and who led the human globe. That's why such Manus are many in number, and this Manvantara deals with the epochs of each Manu, Swayambhu Manu, Swarojasha Manu and others. And then Vamshanucharita, genealogical record of ancient Indian royal dynasties, is explained under the characteristic of Vamshanucharita. According to some other texts, the Puranas have 10 characteristics, and those 10 characteristics are Sargosyadha Visargascha Vritti Rakshantarani cha Vamsho Vamshanucharitam Samsthaheturapashrayah Dashabhir Lakshanairyuktam Puranam Tadvido Viduhu. So, the experts in the Puranic literature give us these 10 characteristics, and according to them, Sarga, which is commonly found with the Purana Panchalakshanam also. The Sarga is none else than the creation of the universe. And then Visarga, intermediary creation. So, the Kalpa begins with creation, and in the Kalpa again time to time there will be a continuity of the process of creation, that is known as Visarga. And then Vritti, means of livelihood. How a person should lead his life in the world according to his abilities and practices, that is known as Vritti. And then Raksha, incarnation of gods, is termed as Raksha. So then after that, Antaras, that is about the Manvantaras or the epochs of Manus. And Vamsha, the divine genealogy, is known as Vamsha. And Vamsyanacharita, the record of royal races. And after that, Samstha, the cycle of the births and deaths of all beings, is known as Samstha. And after Samstha, we have Hetu, the Jiva and Jagat. All the living beings have some consciousness in them. That inner consciousness is known as Jiva or Jiva Chaitanya. And then Jagat, the universe, which is a collection of all the living and non-living beings. So, these two are dealt with under the title Hetu. This is the 9th characteristic of Purana, and the 10th one is Apashraya, Brahman, the ultimate cause of the universe. Actually, Puranas believe in the highest cause of the universe, and that highest cause of the universe is known as Brahma. And now we go to the contents of the Puranas. So here Puranas present an extensively graphic view of the ancient Indian culture and civilization. All the details of political, social life of the ancient nation can be understood through these texts of Puranas with all minute details. The principles of the world, rank philosophy, and great concern for humanity and global fraternity can be seen in this literature. The life and thoughts of ancient India, ancient Indian folklore, mythology, morals, and religion on one hand, and volumes of information on philosophy, statecraft, law, legal institutions, popular rituals, festivals, manners, customs, fine arts, useful arts, geography, grammar, lexicon, rhetoric, prosody, medicine, gemology, astronomy, architecture, and other subjects are dealt with in these sections of text very abundantly. Even some independent treatises on these particular subjects cannot give this much voluminous information about these areas of learning. In such a way, Puranas give us or gift us this kind of knowledge, and hence Puranas can be considered as the encyclopedic chronicles of ancient Indian knowledge systems. There is every need of studying Puranas from this point of view in the modern context also, which has a great relevance in the modern way of living in our country. So, in brief, if we have to know about Puranas, they occupy a prominent place in the ancient Sanskrit literature after the Vedas, Dharmashastras, and Itihasas. This is one thing. And then Puranas are the records of the past kalpas, while Itihasas are of present kalpa. And Puranas, according to Vayu Purana, were recollected by Brahma, the creator. According to other sources, Vedavyasa compiled Puranas and gave to the sage Suta. There are 18 Mahapuranas, 18 Upapuranas, and 18 Aupapuranas. And Puranas are encyclopedic, dealing with the philosophy, statecraft, geography, cosmology, genealogy, matters of devotion, Indian medicine, arts, and etc. So, in this manner, Puranas play a very prominent role in educating our Indian people and also the world.